Greetings, class. This is Eric Hall in Coll100 Foundations of Online Learning. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. As a 29-year Air Force veteran, I've seen a lot of leadership. I hope today to discuss a bit about toxic leadership with you. My thesis is that toxic leadership has a more powerful effect on an organization than positive leadership does. The subject relates to my hopes of becoming a junior reserve officer training course instructor at my local high school in Lake City, Florida, once I retire. Starting at the beginning, let's look at the definition of what leadership actually is. My first exposure to leadership was actually in a JROTC program in my high school, which I completed 4 years of study in. The amount of influence that a leader wields over an organization has a lot to do with how people perceive whether they are a good or a bad leader. Here we see some traits of a good leader described by Coll100 in his 2005 article. And here Coll100 describes some toxic or negative leadership traits. In my career, I've seen both good and toxic leaders. I certainly prefer good leaders. Toxic leaders have a very detrimental impact. Military organizations only have their commanders stay 2 or 3 years. A civilian company could be 10 or even 20 years. Covey, talking about good leaders, stated, "Leadership is communicating to people their worth and potential so clearly that they come to see it in themselves." Covey also quoted Horst Schultz, the CEO of Ritz-Carlton, who stated that leadership is about creating environments where people want to work for an organization, and that it's incredibly important to do. History is full of toxic leaders. Hitler, Saddam Hussein, Fidel Castro, and Kim Jong-il, to name just a few. And history is also full of great leaders we can take an example from. Patton, Reagan, General Mattis, and even Martin Luther King Jr. Now that we have a basic understanding of good and toxic leadership traits, let's see how this applies to my thesis that toxic leadership has a more powerful effect on an organization than positive leadership. So why do good workers lead their jobs? Well, in a recent survey of 7,000 personnel, 50% of them said they left jobs not because of pay or other factors, but because of their bosses. In this research paper, that foreign military students were polled on bad leadership effects found that destructive leaders have severe impact on individuals, including increased illnesses and high rates of turnover. Norton, in his book on toxic leadership, found that even hard-charging and motivated people can only be beat down for so long. He found that members of the organization suffered mental and physical illnesses. They lacked motivation and reduced efficiency. They either would wait the leader out or leave the organization for a better time. Leadership is a broad subject, but it's pretty evident you must treat your employees right. Respect them, value their contributions, give good communication, and certainly reward them for what they do for your company. So after some of this research, we found that it really does appear that toxic leaders have a greater and lasting negative effect on an organization, far more than positive leaders have in a positive way. Here are the sources that I use. Thank you again for watching my presentation, and I hope it entertained you.